Good afternoon. Well, mild for the rest of today and tonight with no frost, but there'll be a lot of cloud with further outbreaks of rain and drizzle. Looking at the satellite, we can see a conveyor belt of cloud continuing to stream in there from the Atlantic, no let up at all, bringing patches of rain and drizzle at the moment, which we can see there on the radar. Though we will have good dry intervals developing during the rest of today in many areas and tonight as well. But still a lot of cloud with these weather fronts strewn across the country, and a similar situation tonight. Now later in the night, as this more active front approaches, it'll bring heavy rain in along parts of the Atlantic coastline, and that will spread to all parts during tomorrow morning and early afternoon. So a wet and windy day in store tomorrow. During the rest of today, still a lot of cloud though, with just the odd patch of rain and drizzle, and mild with highs of around 9 to 11 or 12 degrees with mostly moderate southwest breezes. That's all from me. Good afternoon. Good evening. Well, a mild night tonight with no frost, but it will be a cloudy one with further patches of rain and drizzle. Looking at the satellite, we can see this large swathe of cloud just continuing to sweep in from the Atlantic, bringing further outbreaks of rain. Earlier, fairly persistent here through parts of the west and north, but that band is pushing away right now as this warm front moves northeast towards Scotland. But there will be further patches during the night. Now later on in the night, this more active system will be pushing in from the Atlantic, so rain will turn heavy in Atlantic coastal counties towards morning. And tomorrow it'll spread quickly across the country during the morning and early afternoon, accompanied by strong southerly winds. So very wet, very windy early on, but drier weather will follow from the Atlantic later in the day. It will turn a lot colder, and we could see some wintry showers tomorrow night of hail and sleet, but any snow mostly over high ground. Very cold then for a couple of days after that, with wintry showers again on Thursday, though with pressure rising on Friday. Even though it will be very cold, there will be a lot of dry weather. Back to this evening though, and not a dry spell of weather really. A lot of cloud across the country, misty, murky, patches of rain and drizzle, and we have strengthening winds as they back south to southwestern direction. In fact, overnight they'll increase to gale force along Atlantic coasts, and we'll see rain turning heavy there by morning along the west coast, but it will be a mild night with lows of around 8 or 9 degrees. Then tomorrow, wet and windy during the morning and early afternoon as that band of heavy rain pushes east. But later in the afternoon, we'll have somewhat clearer weather with showers pushing in there from the Atlantic. Mostly of rain or hail, the wintry ones coming in later in the day. Very windy early on with southerly gales extending to all sea areas in the morning, but the winds will ease as the rain clears. Temperatures around 8 to 11 early on, but turning a lot colder later. That's all from me. Good evening. Good evening. Well, no frost tonight, but in its place a murky, misty night with patches of rain and drizzle. Looking at the satellite there, we can see plenty of cloud continuing to stream across from the Atlantic, and later on in the night or sometime towards morning we'll have heavier rain coming in from the Atlantic into the west coast. That's as this more active system begins to brush closer to us towards morning sometime, and that spell of heavier rain will push eastwards across the country during tomorrow, during the morning and afternoon, accompanied by strong southerly winds, gales at sea. Now the winds will ease during the day and the rain will give showers, but it will turn much colder later. We'll have a sharp drop in temperatures. Some wintry showers coming in late tomorrow and tomorrow night of hail and sleet and maybe some hill snow as well. And staying very cold then for a day or two. Thursday very cold and showery with further showers of hail, sleet and risk of snow over high ground. Frosty on Thursday night and very cold on Friday, but at least there'll be fewer showers, a lot of dry weather. Now after that for the weekend, it looks as if there's a battle between this intense area of high pressure there to the northeast and low pressure systems. And at the moment it looks as if they may succeed, bringing a rise in temperatures for a while, but also some rain and drizzle. And early indications are that it could turn very cold and frosty next week. Back to the present, overnight a lot of cloud with murky, misty conditions and rain turning heavy there along the west coast towards morning. Very windy later on with southerly gales developing along Atlantic coast, but at least it will be mild. Tomorrow we'll have a spell of heavy rain pushing eastwards during the morning and afternoon, but later on in the afternoon we'll have clearer weather with showers pushing into the west later, but the temperatures will fall, some of those showers turning wintry. Very windy early on with southerly gales along our coast veering southwest and easing just a little. Highest temperatures will be early on in the day, but they'll fall sharply later. That's all from me. Good evening. Hello again. Well, a fairly mild night overnight with no frost, but murky and misty with patches of rain and drizzle. The satellite shows plenty of thick cloud continuing to stream in from the Atlantic, and it's going to bring heavier rain towards morning along the west coast as this cold front gradually creeps up closer to the west coast, and that will spread eastwards across the country during Wednesday morning and early afternoon, bringing a spell of heavy rain. Now it will clear to the east later Wednesday, early Wednesday night, but it's going to turn a lot colder and we'll have some wintry showers coming in from the Atlantic, some hail, some sleet, maybe even some hill snow. And for a while then it's going to be very cold for another day or two. Thursday very cold and showery with some further wintry showers of hail and sleet, and again the risk of snow over high ground. Still very cold on Friday, but at least it will be mostly dry. Now after that, for the weekend, it looks as if there's a battle between this intense area of high pressure there to the northeast and low pressure systems trying to get in from the Atlantic. It looks at the moment as if they may succeed, bringing some rain at times, but also temperatures temporarily at least. And a fairly mild night overnight, but cloudy, misty with patches of rain and drizzle turning heavy along Atlantic coast towards morning. Now very windy with strong south to southwest winds touching gale force along Atlantic coasts later in the night, but at least it will be pretty mild. A wet and windy day in store for Wednesday with a spell of heavy rain pushing eastwards across the country during the morning and early afternoon, eventually clearing to showers there from the west late in the day. Those will turn a lot colder and some of those showers will turn wintry. Now very windy initially with strong southerly winds and gales in sea areas, but winds will veer southwest and they'll ease a little as the day progresses. Now highest temperatures will be early on in the day up to 10 or 11, but they'll fall sharply later on with widespread frost Wednesday night. That's all from me. Good night.